Just watching this headmaster, the more I look into it, the more ridiculous.
Have you found the reason why they've cancelled?
A guy called Lee Hill. So one of his pupils came to him during the fallout from the George Floyd killing and the Black Lives Matter protests, and said that it's become what these men, Raleigh, Nelson, and Drake, were involved in. In English history, all three of them have been portrayed as admirable and courageous, whilst their despicable deeds have been brushed under the carpet and certainly not been discussed in the classroom. Despicable is how this head teacher describes Raleigh, Drake, and Nelson. Now, none of them were perfect, like all people from that part of history. They have indeed got some problematic parts to their work by today's standards. Mm-hmm. But the idea that a head teacher in this country would cancel Nelson, Drake, and Raleigh because they are despicable, that's a shocker, isn't it? Isn't that a shocker? And if it's not being discussed in the classroom, why aren't you discussing it? Why aren't you actually taking this pupil's... Got nothing wrong with the pupil. She's clearly active and wants to know about all this stuff. Why don't you sit them down and explain, warts and all, good, bad and ugly, the stories of Nelson, Raleigh and Drake that helped make this country a great country, rather than brand them all despicable and cancel them? And this is the problem with the woke culture, isn't it? It's just immediately they get cancelled. Next, it'll be Winston Churchill, this guy. You watch. Old tattoo boy, he'll be cancelling Churchill. He'll be cancelling everybody for being despicable, rather than teaching children, educating them about our history. We are called Great Britain for a reason. You know, we have had some great moments. These people, in many ways, were great people. Why don't you tell your students the truth, unvarnished, but the truth, and not just brand them despicable?
Well, he does seem to have opened up that debate. I'm surprised that they're not teaching that in the classroom. And I also think it's a shame because the modern-day icons that they have now named the houses after are very inspirational. Greta, Malala,
of course,
Amanda Gorman and Marcus Rashford.
But you not think they're going to get cancelled themselves in 20 years' time by some version of Lee Hill? He'll come along and they won't get any names, any roads named after them in Wales. Because apparently...
Just in case.
One of them...
an insurance policy out.
A tattooed headmaster in 50 years' time. You can't take too many chances, can you? What is happening to our country? Seriously, you can't name roads after anyone well-known in case they get cancelled in 50 years' time? We have to get rid of Nelson, Drake, Raleigh from our history, expunge them? Really? Churchill is now targeted left, right and centre by the wokies, the man that saved us from the Nazis. What is happening to our country? And what do we do about it? Why do we let this tiny, squawking, tattoo group of people dictate to the rest of us what we should be feeling about our history? Quite extraordinary. Anyway, I'm sure that, like always, you'll have views. Let us know your views. Maybe you think everybody in British history should just be cancelled. Maybe you do. Maybe that's the right way to go.
Maybe there's a period of time where people should be honoured and then we should just stop talking about them.
But let me tell you, you put all your chips on today's heroes, leave it a couple of weeks.
Tomorrow's demons.
Somebody will be up there saying, nope, villains, cancel them.
We've got plenty of heroes on the programme this morning. And also, I know Laura is very...
A lot of reaction, I've got to say, to this woke debate. Very few people think this is good, any of this. Dan on Twitter, at my comprehensive school, we had 4 houses named after Bader, Campbell, Hillary and Shackleton. We had a new head teacher in 1990. She scrapped them all.
And called them what?
The forms took their teacher's initials instead. Shackleton, Hillary, Campbell.
The great
Douglas
explorers.
Bader, one of the greatest heroes this country's ever produced. All gone. Somebody just pointed out to me, a friend of mine just messaged me about Marcus Rashford. You know, he dived at the weekend, playing for Man United. I mean, has the worm already started turning? Does Marcus have to be cancelled by tattooed head teachers who suddenly realise they're not the heroes they may seem, that they may have flaws? We'll see. Anyway, who does agree with these people? How many of them are there that think this is a good way for the country to go? Seems to be none of our viewers agree with this. So that's several million people. Who are these people? Where do they exist, the ultra wokies? Do they live in little groups, little clubs, underground somewhere?
OK, so let me just put a different point of view.
Oh, of course. Go on.
Which is that it is a current debate, isn't it, about how we remember history and how we remember heroes. And this pupil was interested in having that debate.
Yeah.
And therefore got involved, which means that that pupil is in touch with the news and the issues. And the head teacher responded by celebrating our modern heroes.
The head teacher did not respond by doing that.
By naming houses after Malala and Greta and Amanda and
The head teacher responded to one
Marcus.
pupil's complaint. That's what he did.
It sounds like they had a debate about
They didn't have a debate.
the legacy of those
They didn't. No, they didn't.
explorers.
No, they didn't. One pupil said, I think they're all problematic. They've all got to go. Or the head teacher then saying they've all got to go. And they just, bang, gone, cancelled,
But not
done.
from history.
There is no debate. You can't debate with wokies.
We're debating now. You'd call me a wokie.
We are, but they've already done it. They've got rid of them all. No explanation as to why they've got rid of them or who these people are, other than they're all despicable.
So
Lord Nelson is despicable.
do we have to then
Walter Raleigh,
just
despicable. Sir
stick,
Francis Drake,
do we
despicable.
just stick with the same